Hello guys, welcome to Asutosh chapter. Today we're going to start chapter name is environmental issue. Okay, now start करते हैं. Introduction देखा जाए. With increase in human population, demand for food and shelter and water and the electricity, food and the automobiles are increasing rapidly, exerting pressure on our environment and altering the natural death of ecosystem. All the world and people are facing a wealth of new and challenging environment problems every day. Some of them are pollution, greenhouse effect, ओजोन एंड द डिप्लेशन. तो ये सब कारण है इसका इन्वायरमेंटल इशू में. तो इन्वायरमेंटल इशू इसका कारण से होता है, मतलब होता है कि यहाँ पे कभी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग या फिर ओजन में कुछ चेंजिंग आना, मतलब ओजन डिप्लेशन होना, इस सबसे भी बहुत सारे इन्वायरमेंटल इशू क्रिएट्स होते हैं. उसके बाद पॉल्यूशन क्या होता है. Pollution is an undesirable change in physical and the chemical or the biological properties, air, land, water, and soil. Okay, the agent which can cause undesirable change and called pollutants. हाँ. Air pollution and its control. Air is essential for respiration in all living organisms. Pollution Pollutants reduce growth of reduction of crops as well as premature death of plants and the harmful effect of the pollution of all living organisms depend upon. First, concentration of pollutants, duration of exposure, and organism involved. Thermal power plants, smelters, and other industries release the particulates and the gaseous air pollutants along with the harmless and the gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, etc. These pollutants should be filtered out before the releasing the harmless gases into the atmosphere. There are many methods of removing the particulate and the matter, and the most widely used to the electrostatic precipitators. Okay, and the electroprecipitators क्या होता है. Precipitator. Electrostatic precipitator can remove over 99% of particulate and the matter represent the exhaust of thermal from the thermal power plant, and it has electrode wire and that are maintained at the several thousand of the volts to produce corona that release the electron, and this electron attached to the industry particles giving them a negative charge, and the collecting blades are grounded by and grounded and attract the charged dust particles to that clean air can passes passes through electrostatic precipitators, and the scrubber can remove gases like sulfur dioxide, and exhaust is a passed through spray of the water or lime. Air pollution and its control. Air, according to the CPCB यानी कि सेंट्रल pollution central board, यानी कि particulate size in 2.5 micrometer or less diameter PM 2.5 cause greatest harm to the health, and the fine and the particles can be inhaled deep into the lungs and can causes breathing and the respiratory symptom irritation and the inflammation and the damage to lungs and premature death. The catalytic converter contain platinum and the palladium and rhodium as the catalytic and the fitted into the automobiles for the reducing emission of the poisonous gases. As the exhaust passes through the catalytic converter and the unburnt hydrocarbon are converted into carbon dioxide and nitrogen gas. The vehicles fitted with catalytic converter and should be in unleaded petrol and nitrogen gas. The vehicles fitted with the catalytic converter and should unleaded and petrol because lead in the petrol and inactivities. And कहा जाए in Delhi, fleet of the public transport was converted into a compressed natural gas mode to reduce the fast and the increasing pollutants level of metro. CNG better than diesel because it is cheaper than petrol, and diesel burnt complete and with leaving any residue and cannot be adulterated and like petrol diesel. But main problem with switching over to CNG is difficulty to laying down and the pipeline to deliver CNG through the distribution point pump and ensuring the interruption. सप्लाई। ऑटो फ्यूल पॉलिसी क्या होता है? देखो, द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज़ लेड आउट द रोड मैप टू कट डाउन फ्रॉम द व्हीकल्स एयर pollutions in many cities of the India, and the goal of this policy is to reduce sulfur to 50 ppm in the petrol and the diesel, to reduce or aromatic and the hydrocarbons to 35% of the fuel. The Bharat stage second will be applicable to all automobiles in all cities and April 1st to 2005. The cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and the Kolkata will have to meet Euro 3rd emission norms from the April 1st and 2005, and the Euro 4th emission norms from the April 1st and 2010. The Prevention and the Control of Pollutant Pollution Act, ये देख लेते क्या होता है. In India, the Air Prevention and the Control of Pollution came into the force in 1981 and was amended in 1987. Include noise and as in air pollutants, and noise is a undesired high level of sound and high sound level greater than 150 dB or more generated by the take-off or a jet plane or a rocket may damage eardrums, thus permanently impairing and hearing ability. Noise also causes the sleeplessness may damage eardrums and thus permanently impairing hearing ability. And the reduction of noise in industry can be affected by the uses of sound and absorbent and the material or by the muffling noise. Water pollution and its control, इसके बारे में जान लेते हैं. वाटर बॉडीज आर लाइफलाइन और द ह्यूमन बींग्स आर एज वेल एज अदर ड्यू टू द डिस्पोजल ऑफ ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ वेस्ट एंड अदर anthropogenic action and the ponds. Okay, lake streams, rivers, estuaries and oceans becoming polluted in several parts of world, and the government of India passed the water and prevention the control of the pollution and act 1974 the protect the water resources. Domestic sewage and industrial influence क्या होता है? The sewage that comes out from the house, and the house makes domesticate and savage, and a mere 0.1% impurities make domesticated savage unique unfit for the humans use, and solid waste are relatively easy to remove, but dissolved salt as nitrates, phosphate and other nutrients and toxic metal ions and organic compound present in the domestic wastage, okay, are comparatively difficult to move. Domestic sewage mainly uh, contain biodegradable organic matter which can be easily decomposed by the microbes like bacteria and fungi, and they use organic wastage as nutrients. उसके अलावा BOD बॉड क्या होता है ना कि बायोलॉजिकल ऑक्सीजन डिमांड. ओके, चलो देखते हैं. माइक्रोब्स दैट डिकम्पोज ऑर्गेनिज्म in water bodies consume a lot of oxygen that result into a sharp decline in dissolved oxygen downstream from the point of savage discharge, and this cause mortality of fish and other aquatic creature. And the board refers to amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter is 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. Board best measure the rate of uptake of oxygen by the microorganism in a sample of water. Indirectly, board is a measure of the organic matter present in the water. The greater the board of wastewater and the more it's polluting essential. Algae bloom क्या होता है? देखो, presence of all large amount of organic nutrients in water causes excessive and the growth of planktonic and or free floating algae is called algal bloom. Due to the color of water bowls get changed, and this may causes deterioration of the water and the quality and the fish mortality. Water hygiene इसको हम बोलते हैं इकोनिया क्रेस्पी भी कहते हैं क्रेसिपिस is the world's most problematic aquatic weed which they are introduced to into India and in for their beautiful flowers and that have caused havoc and by their excessive growth by causing blocks in our water bodies. These weeds very commonly known as terror of Bengal. इसको हम लोग टेरर ऑफ बंगाल के नाम से भी जानते हैं. Biomagnification or the biological magnification. Toxic waste present in the water waste and the from the and water from the farmhouse containing the pesticide and the weedicide enters the food and the chain of the aquatic organism. The increase in the concentration of toxicant at each successive trophic level is called biological magnification. The most common toxicant that get accumulate at the successive trophic level base include DDT and mercury. High concentration of DDT disturb the calcium metabolism in birds and which causes thinning of eggshell and their premature breaking and eventually causing decline in the birds population. अब आता है यूट्रिफिकेशन. क्या होता है यूट्रोफिकेशन? देखो, इट इज़ अ natural aging or a lake by a biological enrichment of its water and due to adding of nutrition such as nitrogen phosphorus encourage and the growth of aquatic organisms. The accumulation of organic remains in the course of leads to a cell loving of lake and over the centuries the slite and the organic debris piles and up to the bottom of lake and the encouraged growth of the marsh plant in the shallow and they begin to fill in the original lake basin. Eventually, the large masses and floating the plants grow and the finally converting into lands. The pollutants from the man activities such as influent from the industry and the homes radically accelerate and the aging of lakes. The phenomena is called culture and the accelerated eutrophication. The main contaminants include nitrates and phosphate and that act as a plant nutrients. Okay, and they increase the growth of algae and the causing unsight and the scum and the unpleasant odors and the depleting the dissolved oxygen of the water which is important for the aquatic life. Okay, इंटीग्रेटेड वेस्ट एंड द वेस्टर ट्रीटमेंट होता क्या है इसके बारे में जान लेते हैं. सबसे पहले वेस्ट वाटर इंक्लूडिंग द सेवेज कैन बी treated be integrated with the by the combining artificial and the natural process. An example of initiated towns of Antarctica and the situated along the north coast of California, the native people in collaboration with the Humboldt State University created an integrated wastewater treatment process within natural system. The cleaning occurred in the two stages. First, two conventional sedimentation filtering and the chlorine are given. B. Combat with pollutants like dissolved heavy metal and the biologists develop a series of six connected marshes over 60 hectares of marshland and where plants, algae, fungi, bacteria and were seeded which neutralize and absorb assimilate pollutants. As the flow through the marshes get purified naturally marshes and also constitute a sanctuary and which is highly diverse in the form of fishes and animals and birds that now resides here. Citizen group is called the Friends of the Arctics or Mars form are responsible for the safety of the project. Ecological sanitation is a sustainable system for the managing human excreta and using diarrhea using dry composition toilet and the important part is that this is compositing method and human excreta can be recycled into a natural fertilizer and they are working with ecosan toilet in many area of Kerala and Sri Lanka. सॉलिड वेस्ट क्या होता है? म्यूनिसिपल सॉलिड वेस्ट आर वेस्ट फ्रॉम होम एंड द offices and stored schools and hospitals etc that are collected and disposed by the municipality and it consists the paper food waste and plastic grass metal rubber leather textile and the burning reduces the volume of waste but the waste generally not burnt into completion and open dump over the serve and as a breeding group or the rodent and the flies and the sanitary landfills were used substitute for open burning dumped and were wasted or dumped in a depression or trench after the compaction and the covered with dirt every day. There is a dangerous seepage of chemical for these landfills and the polluting underground water resources. Okay. ये सब क्या है, सॉलिड वेस्ट है. म्यूनिसिपल वेस्ट क्या होता है, बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट एंड द रिसाइक्लेबल वेस्ट, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट, ये सबको क्या बोलते हैं, म्यूनिसिपल वेस्ट. उसमें होता क्या है, बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट कैन बी पुट इनटू द डीप पिट्स इन द ग्राउंड एंड द इट्स लेफ्ट इट्स नेचुरल ब्रेक डाउन एंड kabaddi wala and the rag pickers do great job of pick separation of materials for the recycling of different kind of wastage. Polyblend is the best way to the combat with the ever increasing problems of the accumulating plastic waste, and it is a fine powder of the recycled modified plastic and which is mixed with the bitumen and polyblend and the bitumen with when used to the lay and road and enhance the bitumen's water repellent and properties and helped to the increase road life by the factor of 3. The hospital generate hazardous and the waste that contain the dis- disinfectant and the other chemical and the allows pathogenic microorganism, and such wastage need careful and the treatment and the disposal. Incin- Incinerators are used to disposal of the hospital waste. उसके बाद आता है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट क्या होता है. द अनस्पेडे देखो unrepairable and computers and the other electronic goods are known as electronic waste and e-waste. E-waste is are buried in landfills, and landfills are in incinerated and over landfills are e-waste generated in the developed over the world's या कह सकते हो development the world's exported into developing the country and mainly in China, India, Pakistan, where metal like copper, irons and silicon and nickels and gold are recovered during the life cycling process. Recycling is the only solution for the treatment of e-waste provided it is carried out is an in an environment friendly manner. Agrochemical and other effect. Use of inorganic fertilizer and the pesticide has been increased by a best many fold due to green revolution for enhancing the crop revolution. Pesticide and the insecticide are toxic to non-target organic that are important to component of the soil and ecosystem. They are biomagnified and in the terrestrial ecosystem and also caused the eutrophication in aquatic system. इकोसिस्टम ओके, एक्वेटिक इकोसिस्टम. ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग क्या होता है देखते हैं. integrated organic farming is a cyclic and zero waste and the procedure is which waste product of one process is called cycled is an and nutrients for the process for the alloy maximum utilization of resources and increase the efficiency of production. They include beekeeping and the dairy farming and the water harvesting and the compositing and the agriculture in the chain of process which support each other and allow to extremely economical and sustainable venture and no chemical fertilizer used in this process. इस सबको साथ में क्या बोलते हैं, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग. बायोरिएक्टिव वेस्ट क्या होता है, न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी हैज़ टू सीरियस प्रॉब्लम, एक्सीडेंटल लिंकेज एंड safe disposal reactive. Radiation release from the nuclear waste is extremely damaged to biological organism as it causes mutation and to occur at very high rate. It has been recommended and that storage of nuclear waste and after sufficient pre-treatment and should be done in a suitable shielded and the container and the buried within a rock and about the 500-meter deep below the earth's surface. Greenhouse effect and the global warming. The greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomena that is responsible for the heating of the earth's surface and atmospheric due to the increase in the concentration of the carbon dioxide and the methane gas. The cloud gases reflect the out the one of the fourth on the incoming solar radiation and the absorbs some of it, and the but almost half of incoming solar radiation fall on the earth's earth's surface, hitting, and while a small portion is reflected back, and the surface of earth is re-emit and heat in the form of in- infrared radiation, but part of this does not reflected back due to the greenhouse effect. Okay, greenhouse gases that leads to the heating atmosphere and global warming caused due to the greenhouse effect. Okay, the scientists believed that it rise in temperature leading to harmful changes in environment and the resulting the odd climate changes, and the example El Nino effect, thus leading to increased melting polar ice. And okay, इसका नाम अपना जो बर्फ पिघलना जो होता है उसको कहते हैं इल नाइनो इफेक्ट। ओके, हाँ। उसके बाद बात आता है हमारा ग्लोबल वार्मिंग इफेक्ट कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड बाय कटिंग डाउन यूज ऑफ फ्यूल and improving the efficiency of energy uses, and reducing deforestation and planting tree, and slowing down growth of human replication. Okay, ozone depletion and stratosphere. Ozone found in the upper part of the atmosphere called stratosphere act as shield, absorbing the ultraviolet radiation from the sun, and the UV rays are highly injurious for living organism. The thickness of ozone layer is in a column of air from the ground to the top of the atmosphere is measured in the term of Dobson and unit. Ozone layer absorbs the harmful UV rays, and it causes the aging of skin and damage to skin and the various types of skin cancer. And in human eyes, cornea absorbed UV radiation and does high dose UV radiation inflammation of cornea and with snow blindness and contract etc. Such exposure may high permanently damage cornea. Chlorofluorocarbon decomplete the ozone layer, and the part of atmosphere with laser concentration of ozone is called ozone hole. Okay, and the leading to ozone depletion. UV rays split CFC and releasing atmospheric chlorine, and the UV rays also split ozone into oxygen, and chlorine atom tap oxygen, and ozone is not formed, and again an oxygen again from oxygen, and this lead to depletion of ozone in the stratosphere. नाउ डिफोरेस्टेशन क्या होता है? देखो, डिफोरेस्टेशन सीधा सीधी बात तो ये है कि जंगल को ख़त्म करना होता है, बट कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हमें नीट का एग्ज़ाम देना है, इसलिए हमें एक लाइन पढ़ना होगा। दिस इज़ द कन्वर्शन। देखो, सबसे आपके पास मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, आप जितना पढ़ लो उतना कम है, मतलब कि एनसीईआरटी तो पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है, साइड में उसके कुछ परसेंट के लिए आपको एक्स्ट्रा बुक भी पढ़ने पड़ेंगे। It is the conversion of forested areas to non-forested ones due to the humans and activities like splash and burns. Agriculture also jump and cultivation, and where the farmers cut down tree and the burns plant remains, and the ashes is used to the as a fertilizer, and land is then used to the farming or cattle grazing, and the uses of fertilizer and the cutting of trees for the industry and the residential user. Main sequence of deforestation include enhance the carbon dioxide concentration and loss of diversity, hydrological cycle, and the कहते हैं डिजर्टिफिकेशन एंड etc. अब होता है रिफोरेस्टेशन। क्या होता है? the the process of restoring a forest that was removed at some point of in time in the past. The government of India has recently started in the Amrit Devi Bishnol and Wildlife Protection Award for the individual or community from the rural area that have shown extraordinary courage or dedication in the protecting wildlife. Okay, now releasing the importance of the participating by the local community by the government of India in 1980s has introduced the concept of joint forest management JFM, and so as the work closely with the local community for the protecting and the managing forest. So guys, thanks for watching video till the end. लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब जितना हो सके उतना ज़्यादा करिए. ओके बाय, मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में. बाय बाय.